start there. How excited are you to work with Brick, you think?
To work with Brick?
Yeah.
I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. So fortunate, just so fortunate to be here.
Judd Sirott, what are you doing in the NESN broadcast?
Still got a face for radio, Brick.
Congratulations, man.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome.
What a treat. I am so fortunate.
That's awesome. Let's talk a little bit about the audition process as you were part of. You know, I don't know if fans realized that it was a game that was played back in January. It was done in a green room, off a screen. You know, how do you generate the necessary energy to say, I put my best skate forward, you know, in the process of trying to land this job?
Well, you worked with a guy in Jack Edwards who always brought the passion for about 19 years. That's going to be the same here. Energy is never a problem with me. Nobody wants to be able to do games from a studio. But that said, you know, ever since I was 13 or 14 and fell in love with the game of hockey, fell in love with the characters who played the game, I always felt that energy. And maybe it's also the way I'm wired to be able to bring the way the game is, and there's nothing like it, you know. It's incomparable across any sport to be able to translate that from the ice into our microphones and onto a screen.
Does calling a game change from radio to TV?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, in radio, we have to paint the picture. That's what Beersy and I tried to do as well as we could for 7 years, but here on television, it's the picture's already there. So how do you and I, Z, Rose, PW, the audio people, how do we augment the pictures and make it even bigger than what you're seeing on your screen? So you asked me about the audition process.
Yeah.
And listen, I was honored, you know, to get the call from Matt Volk and NESN to come in and have a chance to do a game with you. It was January 6th. It was the Bruins against the Tampa Bay Lightning. And one of the things that I wanted to bring to that audition, I knew the team. My family lives here in the community. We knew the town. And I've known you for a long time. And I wanted to make sure that came through during the audition. And hopefully it did.
Yeah. Remind Bruins fans of our history together. This isn't uncharted waters because we have done some things together in the past.
We have. We had a chance to do a couple of exhibition games when the Bruins were in China to barnstorm around, and they played a couple of games against the Calgary Flames. That was an experience. Wow. But even going back, you and I had a chance to do a couple of games when we were both in the International Hockey League. You know, at that point, I think you were a couple of years removed from playing. And by the way, a moment of silence for that league. Thank you. You know, and then going all the way back, I had a chance to meet you and Beersy when you were playing for the Utah Grizzlies and eventually went on to win the Turner Cup that year. Wendell Young, the Swindler, I know you guys had a history. We all had a chance to meet after one of the games, and I've been fortunate to call you a friend ever since. That was back in 95, 96.
Yeah, and it'd be fun to go back to Utah this year.
Oh,
I'm looking
I
forward
can't
to
wait.
that road trip.
That first long trip. Can you I mean, how
Looking
good
forward
is
to
that?
that.
Colorado, Salt Lake City, Nashville is the first 3-game trip.
Yeah, and we've spent a lot of time together just in the last six years with you. You know, radio and TV, travel together with the team. So we've had certainly plenty of time to interact, spend social time together, talk a lot of hockey, watch a lot of hockey. That being said, what is so exciting for you, not just the television gig, but the original 6 Boston Bruins just had, well, still celebrating its centennial and everything and everybody that's been around. How has that been for you personally?
I think you mentioned a lot of it. You know, this job is simply unrivaled around the National Hockey League. Not only an original 16, but the oldest American franchise around the National Hockey League. And it's a franchise that is woven into the fabric of Boston and the community of New England. I'm a big believer in people, and that's what makes things so special. But whether you're here at the Garden or whether we're on the road, and I know you know this from doing the games for almost 30 plus years, that you can see it, you can hear it, and you can feel it. And that's why this is the best job in the National Hockey League.
You know that space that you're occupying right now is hallowed ground.
Yeah, I do. There's only 6 other guys who have done this full time in the National Hockey League. Jack did it for almost 2 decades. Freddie Cusick did it for 30 years, plus 12 that he did on radio. There are very few guys who have been in this spot. And trust me, you know, as a guy who loves the game and cherishes the craft that we do, it's something that I'm very familiar with.
Well, congratulations again, and welcome to NESN.
Oh, thank you. Awesome. I'm so fortunate.